With the high cost of groceries these days, everyone's wondering how they can eat for less. Today, we're going to start a series called Eat Well for Less. I'm going to walk you through exactly what my wife Susan and I do in growing our own vegetables every winter here in Florida, the types of things that we do, how we start out. You're going to be amazed at how cheap it is to actually do this. Now, some of you live in apartments and condos, some of you live in homes, some of you live in HOAs, and I get that. But we're going to show you how to work out in each of those scenarios so that you can start growing at least some of your food at a far less cost than you're going to pay for it in the grocery store. So stay tuned. Hey, just a little reminder here. If you haven't subscribed, but you're enjoying watching the videos, please subscribe down below. You'll see the little red button down below. Whenever I start talking about it, it'll start to light up. Hit that button, subscribe. Won't cost you anything. But the benefit to you is you'll be notified every time a video comes out. So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and if you have any questions, comments, something you want to try as well, please leave those with me and I'll be happy to get back to you. Thank you. Okay, so let's get started this morning in part one here with the Eat Well for Less. And I want to show you what I did this morning. Now, we're starting what we have hydroponic towers. We also have earth boxes, and I'll show you those in just a few minutes. But I want you to see how cheap food can be if you know how to grow it. So let me switch around here and show you some of the things that I've gotten this morning. Okay, so what I'm going to put in the ground, you can see these seedlings here, and what you see are right along in there are the collard greens, and then over here you're going to see red cabbage, and then over there's going to be broccoli. Believe it or not, each of these plants cost me 75 cents. Now, for the collard greens, they're actually going to grow between now and next May. They'll continue to produce leaves so that I can have collard greens anytime I want for 75 cents a plant. How much is that going to cost you to eat all those meals if you bought it at the store? The red cabbage here is another 75 cents per plant, but it's a one and done thing. Once the cabbage grows up, same thing with the broccoli. Now you cut it and then the plant is done. But how much do you pay for red cabbage and how much do you pay for broccoli if you buy it at the store? Trust me, it's going to be far more than 75 cents a piece, okay? So I also have some seedlings I'll show you later where I get my seeds from Johnny Seeds, and each of these packages cost me about $6. However, one package of seeds will go through about 2 seasons of plants, whether I have one and done plants or I have plants that just keep propagating over and over and over. So the ones that propagate over and over and over, the cost gets less and less per season. Now, as you can see here, I went to the Earthbox store, which, by the way, is at earthbox.com. And you can see here exactly what I spent this morning. I got some covers for the earth boxes. I got some fertilizer, which is a dolomite and a fertilizer. I also, you can see the plugs there are 75 cents a piece. And I got 3 bags of soil, which you can see down here, to put into those earth boxes. So let's go over and take a look at the earth boxes here. Okay, so this is a system that all of my neighbors get a kick out of seeing here. You can see I have 4 towers. We haven't started filling them up yet. The first one here has a few things in it. And you can actually see tomatoes growing right down here. Believe it or not, this plant was what I call a volunteer. It just popped up in the ground and I put it in a pot, and it was a tiny plant about the size of your hand. And that was a month ago, and this is where it is now. I talked to you about the earth boxes. The earth boxes looks just like this. Now, a setup like this is about $75 a box, but it's a one-time buy. And what happens is you put in the right soil, fertilizer into it, and all you do is put water in about once a week. You'll be amazed at how that'll grow. And what's going to be fun about these two systems is that I'm going to keep doing this series so that you can see these plants starting today as seedlings, and you can watch them grow to be large just like that in a matter of about 30 days. So when people who live in apartments or condos or HOAs may say, well, gee, I can't really do that. Here's the thing. The earth box can set actually out on your patio or lanai or your deck, so that you can have your plants out on the deck if they get good sun there. The hydroponics, you see I have 4 towers here. You can actually buy one tower that has a pump in the bottom to pump water to it. Now, in my system here, I have this large can with a submersible pump in it that pumps water out through this white hose, and you can see it goes all the way down across to each of the towers. So it pumps water out about 5 minutes at a time, and it'll do it 3 to 4 times a day. So let's go inside and look at the seedlings. Okay, so here are the seedlings here. What you're seeing there, these started out as seeds about 2 weeks ago. That's kale plants that are growing here. This one has a multiple set of plants. So we have on the left side of the screen there, those first 2 rows are lettuce. The right side of the screen is actually turnips, and the ones in the middle are mustard greens. Coming over on this side, these again, they're ready to come out of this planter because they're getting too large for it. But here again, you see romaine lettuce to the right. You've got Swiss chard in the middle there. And on the far left here, we've got, let's see here, far left is endive. When we come over here, we can see some Swiss chard in there. We've got some bok choy and on each of those. And as we come around the table on this side, we actually have some more bok choy here. Now, bok choys are one and done, so as you can see, I have plenty of those plants because they don't last very long. And finally, in this little dish here, I am using an avocado seed to root it and plant it into a tree because I need another avocado tree, but we'll talk about that on another video. So as you can see, it doesn't take a lot of space to grow these, but it is growable here. So as you can see, we have an awful lot going on here between the earth boxes and the hydroponics and also putting things into the ground. It takes a little bit of work, especially in the beginning, to set everything up. But trust me, it's worth it in the end. And what we're going to do from this point on in part 1, we're going to dig into how to set up the hydroponic system. Whether you have 1 tower, 4 towers, or 100 towers is irrelevant. It's all the same. Part 2 will be on the earth box itself. And then part 3 will wind up going into how to put plants into the ground, best way to do that. And some of the things you may run into with that if you have like rabbits or raccoons or whatever around your neighborhood. But we'll talk about all that in future episodes. And for now, don't forget, subscribe down below, ring the bell, and as always, please leave comments.
I hope you enjoyed this last video. Be sure to click on the video here to my left and enjoy.